refused, like Jeff Gordon, to do this last night because I was tired as fuck from all the wild and craziness of the game. So therefore, I decided to push it to today after work when I was like, more wide awake and like calm and relaxed and not too tired. So let's get into it. It's a late SpursMagic review. So therefore, it's been a while since I've done Spurs game reviews on a daily basis when we were like losing all those games just because Lonnie Walker wasn't playing. He's the X factor to the San Antonio team nowadays. It just sucks, last year watching, he and Keldon were buried behind the bench. Buried it like deep into the bench behind Trash Can, Bellinelli, and Forbes. So, which is why I'm glad those like hunk of junk stacks of shit are both gone. Rudy Gay's the next one. Like I said in a past video, I think I said it's on TikTok too. I know I said it on TikTok for sure, but I'm not sure if I said it here on YouTube. If we can get rid of Pau Gasol in 2019, Brandon Forbes and Marco Bellinelli in 2020, and LaMarcus Aldridge in 2021, along with them, then we can also get rid of Rudy Gay also later in 2021 after getting rid of LaMarcus Aldridge. Simple as that. Although he did play good last night. He did play good. It's just the problem is the consistency. It's like he never does this on a consistent basis. One night he goes 2014 Rudy on us. The next night he's just stinking it up like Terry Labonte. And I know, like, for those who don't follow NASCAR closely, though, especially the ones who at least know who Terry Labonte is, he's not all that bad. I just like to say that to be silly. He's a two-time Winston Cup champion. Won the championship in 1984, I think, for the Stavoli brothers, I think. I could be wrong. If I remember correctly, Stavoli. But I know he won the championship in 1996 for Rick Hendrick as a teammate to Jeff Gordon. And, his brother Bobby, the number 18 car, won the season finale, Napa 500 the same day. So the Labonte brothers got to celebrate in Victory Lane together, which was cool to see. I think I was only 2 years old at the time, but I wasn't a NASCAR fan until 2001. But I know of this because I got my NASCAR knowledge of the walking encyclopedia and dictionary of NASCAR that I've become as of recent memory, as I gotten older, because I recorded old races on VHS throughout the early to mid 2000s. I watched VHS tapes that were already printed out and issued for people to buy and learn about NASCAR history. Because I learned a lot about Alan Kowicki through a tape that Benny Parsons hosted. It's crazy to think that back when I was little, one was alive and the other one died before I was even born, and now they're both dead because Benny died 1 month before my 13th birthday. So yeah, and I still miss them even to this day. And Steve Burns. Steve Burns and Benny Parsons were my favorite NASCAR. And actually, they were my favorite NASCAR broadcasters when they were active. And now that they're both gone, they're both my all-time favorite NASCAR broadcasters. Benny on the NBC TNT side, Steve Burns on the Fox FX side. I never got to meet Burnsy, unfortunately. But do you guys remember the tribute video I made for him, like a day before he died, thinking he would see it, but I made it too late, and then by the time it was already out, and Fox saw it, he was already gone.
Flashback. End of flashback.
Yeah, that video. So, I do miss them very, very much, but they're living it up like Haley Oranti on Heaven with George Siegel, Alex Trebek, Charlie O'Donnell, the likes of that, Dale Sr., Adam Petty, John Andretti, Kenny Irwin Jr., Alan, Davey, Alan Kowicki, like I mentioned, Davey Allison, even though I never got to see one of those two race, nor Tim Richmond. He's up there too. My Wello, my Godfather, all these amazing people you can imagine in heaven that are there right now, partying and having a good time, having a beer, having wine, having Coke. you name it. It depends on the beverage and what their body can cooperate with. I may or may not go outside today, but we'll have to see how I feel. I only put the pajamas on. I wanted to feel comfortable. Okay, let's get into the Spurs game review. So, last night was a total beatdown on their Orlando Magic nobodies, And I was so scared that we were not going to beat those sons of bitches, those nobodies, who you don't even, people barely know who the fuck they are, considering that the Magic traded all of their stars away at the trade deadline. They pulled a 2017-18 Cleveland Cavaliers and blew up the whole roster like Montoya and the jet dryer. And so we beat them. The only people that are good for them is that Vucevic guy or something like that. There's another guy that someone mentioned on TikTok too that's good, and they're both out due to injury, and hopefully they'll come back stronger and better than ever next year. And right now I want to say a prayer for Jamal Murray, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery from the torn ACL in his knee, because of the fact that, DeJounte tore the same thing, which wiped his whole 18-19 season out and wiped out any chance the Spurs had of getting far in the playoffs. I think if DeJounte doesn't go down in the 2018 preseason and actually plays the 18-19 season, which was supposed to be his breakout year, we actually get past the first round in the playoffs and at least make it to the second round at best. I doubt we were going to get to the conference finals that year, even if he was playing. But, you sadly will never know unless I, get all this money all the years down the road and, get the proper stuff to record, and so that way I can actually bring you the screen and with my voice rather than the background vicinity and the TV, and make it. I just want to get a camera where the TV is not seen, you just see the game and just hear my voice, and that's it. I could do it in these fanfics I'm gonna write in the future, what if DeJounte Murray doesn't get wiped out of the 18-19 season and is healthy from start to finish and takes the Spurs as far as the second round of the 2019 playoffs? That's another fanfic I never thought of because I'm always so focused on old school stuff. But we played a hell of a game yesterday. I think my favorite part, other than me being biased and saying Livin la Vida Luka scored 7 points, and the first 3 points from downtown, you go bang bang Tito Puente. My favorite part was when the two rookies made a connection. I wish we would see this more often and with more minutes to spare for them. Which way did it go? Was it Tre to Devin or Devin to Tre? And I'm trying to think. Think. I'm not gonna add that iconic Jeopardy thinking like I always do. I'm trying to remember. You know what? Let me check it out like Kevin LePage and see.
5 minutes later.
Okay, had a little bit of time to look at the Spurs Twitter page. Go follow my Twitter. Link in the description. At MarkAnthony0215. It was Tre to Young Devo. I never seen anything like it in my time as a Spurs fan. Seeing two rookies get to share the floor like Pat Sajak together and have a connection like that. It was a miracle. I did not wake up my mom was actually on the main floor watching her TV in the family room, and my grandparents were sleeping when Tre and Devin made that connection. I screamed so loud that it was a miracle that one, I didn't wake up my grandparents, and two, I didn't wake up the neighbors and have them call the police on me. Oh my God. Imagine if they did that shit in the playoffs and they, especially if they got as far as the conference finals, let alone the finals, win or lose. Oh my God, I'd be losing my shit in it. Something? I've always wanted to discuss this topic with you guys. All the years the Spurs won a championship in the 3 different decades, they won the 1999 championship when I was living on the house in West 122nd. They won the 2003, 2005, and 2007 championships when I was living in Michigan in the Lenore house. And then when they won in 2014, that's a redemption from the previous year where they almost pulled off their what could have been their fifth championship in Game 6 of that series. They won it in the when I was living in the Sandhurst house, but I wasn't watching the Game 5 of the 2014 finals in the Sandhurst house because I was with my dad, and we were in because, every year, whenever the Spurs were in the finals or anybody was in the finals, like, usually the finals would take place when me and my dad go to Michigan for NASCAR weekend, and we were in the hotel, like, on Father's Day after the 2014 series out at Radio 400, and we couldn't go all crazy in the hotel because, the lobby and everything, because they would have kicked our asses out for, causing commotion, and we would have gotten it would have been more me than him because, I can't contain my excitement and shit. I would have gotten a noise complaint had I just YOLO'd it and been a rebel and just, screamed out my lungs out anyway, so I had to keep myself under control. So, yeah, they won one championship when I was living on North 122nd, and they won 3 of them when I was living in Michigan Lenore house. They won 1 while I was living in the Sandhurst house in Brook Park. But since I moved here, to Ridgeville, they have not won while I'm here in this house. Hopefully, if I ever have to leave this neighborhood one day, or this city, or this county, maybe they'll pull one off before that day comes, but you never know. Anything can happen. Yeah, so that was a good-ass game. Every single person scored. We got to see Quindary Weatherspoon, a.k.a. Matt Bonner 2.0, run the floor because he's in Bonner's old number 15. Keita Bates-Diop is Malik Rose 2.0 because he's in his old 31. So I doubt that. I know Malik and Bonner will eventually get their numbers retired based on the large impact they had on the Spurs during their long ass tenures there. But it's going to be a while because, Quindary Weatherspoon and Keita Bates-Diop would have to walk away for that to happen. And nobody'd ever use those numbers again for, I don't know how many years a number can go unused in a franchise history until they're eligible to be retired, depending on who it is. You know what I'm saying? What else is there to talk about? Lone Star DeMar was efficient again. He was smooth like Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas and played a one good game. Lonnie Walker tried to murder the rim again. But this is he has more missed dunks with trying to commit murder on the rim or the opposing player than actually made dunks. I just can't. I'm still mad that I missed his posterization in Dallas live because I think I was typing on the computer and shit. Live tweeting the game and being obnoxious, where the celebrities I interacted with, that was their entertainment whenever they were scrolling through their home timeline. The celebrities that were following me on my old Twitter account back in the day. My goodness, I remember those days like it was yesterday, especially when I was living La Vida Lab rights with Kelly Berglund and Paris Burrell. So, if Rudy would play this good more consistently, then maybe I wouldn't hate him so much. Watch him stink it up like Terry Labonte tomorrow night against Wheatland North. And Dan Weiss mentioned on the Spurs broadcast last night, they're playing in a different arena because of health and safety, COVID protocols. So therefore, the Raptors do need that home crowd to fire them back up and get them back in the playoffs again. It doesn't look like they'll make it this year because they haven't had the home crowd by their side like normal because due to damn COVID. But it was a fun game. We blew their asses out. We got started off slow and it was clear sailing ahead. So I will see you all tomorrow night for the Raptors game, the Spurs-Raptors game. So, and maybe I'll do the review tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it the next day like I did today. Who knows? But a million little things is at 10 o'clock tomorrow as well. So remember, it's on Wednesdays now to finish out the season 3, not Thursdays like normal. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. And if I happen to go outside, I will let you know and I'll record it so I can post it right here. Take care, everyone. Good night.